Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another week of Behind the Beat. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and their granny too. Granny might be interested. This week we have a drumming extraordinaire, Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown is my mentor. He's my favorite drummer. I studied under Jerry. I worked for Jerry. I was his drum tech for how many years? So this is my opportunity to, talk to him and ask him some questions and stuff like that. So, Jerry.
I might not want to answer any questions, my G.
Well, you got no choice, man. Yeah, how you doing, man?
Man, it's great to be here, man. Love what you've done to the studio, bro. And it's just great to see how you're keeping the business going and everything. Yeah, man. Welcome, so respect to that, man. That's awesome. You're doing some great stuff, bro.
Thank you, man. I know you haven't been there in a long time. You know what I mean?
No, last time I was here, we were storing the drums here, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we've had some history together, man. Literally,
history.
Gone on the road.
That's right.
Like I said, I was his drum tech for years, man. So
couple studio sessions as well, bro.
Yeah, quite. Shiro.
Some good Shiro sessions.
Yeah.
Anthony Marshall,
yeah. Who else is there? Well, you did that, the Hillsong recordings as well.
The Hillsong recording, you teched on that. Exactly. Father's Heart, yeah.
So, all right, before we go into that, let's start from the beginning.
Yes, Dred.
Where did it all start for you, man?
Well, the thing about it is the drum history really, it started with Uncle Jimmy. Mm-hmm. So that would be in Stoke Newington at Grandad's house, 22 Brantford Road. And that was the first time I saw drums. That's the first time Nicky saw drums. That's the first time my cousin Glenn saw drums. So that's when we as young kids really, we were really exposed to those, those things that we would see, and it was massive. That's why, like, you see when I bought the first kit that I suppose was really made for me. I call it the Harley for a reason, because that's what it felt like when I would go into the basement and see Uncle Jimmy's black. I think it was like a 7-piece kit that he had at the time. He was very much into Mahavishnu and Billy Cobham, so that was his vibe. Sorry, that was his vibe. So a lot of cymbals, a lot of toms, and that was what we were exposed to. And that was, I suppose, the latter part of Dad's band when they used to rehearse at Grandad's. So, and then from there, really seeing Nicky grow and evolve. And then my uncle had a gold Sparkle Beverly kit with jazz people, which was amazing. And then Glenn started playing drums, my cousin Glenn Scott, and then he gave the kit to Glenn, which Glenn has refurbished and has it now. And then we just kept on moving. We kept on moving, But at the time, I suppose in church, it was just more of a tambourine thing. There wasn't really nothing going on then. Then I was born and bred in East London.
Okay.
Right. So just to give you the history, so it was my birthday. My dad was taking us out for the afternoon, and he drove past a second-hand shop. And whilst I was driving, on the left-hand side, I saw in the second-hand shop a snare drum and a hi-hat stand with some cymbals. And I was like, wow. So I remember I said, Dad, if you could get that for me, that would be amazing. He picked up the snare, bought the snare and the hi-hat for me, and on, I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but he, for the other birthday, he got me some Max Swing concert toms and the Michael Jackson Off the Wall album.
Oh, see.
And so at the time I was just playing with concert toms. Then Nicky took those and brought them to church. And then there was a guy in church that had a bass drum. Then Nicky got the bass drum and one cymbal, and that was history, Dred. That's how it all started.
Yeah. So you come from a musical background then?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, we just the stories and and what happened. I mean, I started playing percussion at church. Michael McKay, who's a great family friend of ours, and a great, that's Matthew's godfather, and like just a part of the guys. And he brought some bongos and some perks, and that was when I started to play in church. I was playing bongos, and then obviously Nick was playing in church, and then I kind of just evolved, and it was amazing because Nick's, his ear and what he was listening to in the house was just the range was incredible. So, and we shared a room for a while. So whatever he brought home, whatever cassette he brought home, whilst he was out doing stuff, I'd just be listening to the music that he brought into the house.
Copy what he was.
Yeah.
What's the age difference between the both?
It's 4 years.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So really, when he started to really kick into his thing, 15, 16 years old, I was like 12.
Okay, yeah,
12, so he wasn't really letting me hang with him.
So you basically like followed in the footsteps of your bigger brother, would you say?
He's my first mentor.
Okay.
It's my first mentor. I mean, in the sense of like really getting into, because he was bringing the modern drummer magazines home. Okay. The Rhythm magazines home. Yeah. My first drum book was the Buddy Rich rudimental book. Okay. He brought that into the house from his his drum teacher. Was he got all of the exposure that he needed. So he was just bringing the stuff, and whilst everything was there, I just started to pick up, started to look at the back of the modern drummer magazines, and then started to work out. So I kind of understood what the note values were, and then by the time I got onto the Buddy Rich book, that's when I really started to work out what was going on. And then when he really knew that I had a keen eye, he started to videos started to come into play at the time. Okay. DCI started to kick in, right?
Yeah. Talking way back now.
Yeah, we're talking way back now. So the first DCI video he brought home was Zildjian Day in New York. Okay. And that was Alex Acuna, Tommy Campbell, Vinnie Colaiuta. And then from Vinnie, it went to Billy Cobham. From Billy Cobham, it finished with Gad. I think those were the 5 guys that were on that. And I remember he came home late, and the VHS was in Mum's room, but Mum was kind enough to, we turned down the volume of the TV and we just watched it. And I remember him saying to me, when Vinny came, he turned around and he says, "It's gonna change your life." Yeah, man.
And it did,
yeah, 100%.
So was you playing in church at this time, or was you just more playing perks at that time at church?
I think I was just about to join Jubilant Voices as well. Okay. Because I kind of joined Jubilant Voices when I was about 13.
Singing, yeah.
No, so I was playing drums.
Oh, you playing drums? Okay, cool.
So that was John Beckford. Shout out to John Beckford.
Shout out to JB.
He called my mum and said,
"Really?
And he was like him. John and Lincoln were just like massive. They're still my big brothers, and they really took me under their wing and said, right, you're gonna come to Watford, you're gonna stay the weekend with us, we're gonna rehearse all day, all night, and we'll do some church concerts at the same time. Okay. So that's what really got me going, and because I knew, I was in a band and I had to kind of hold my bargain, my side of the bargain. I just grabbed all the information I could get. And there was one more person that was really, really incredibly pivotal to my education, and that was Martin from school. Yeah. Martin Cook, and he was amazing. There was a music holiday music store in Leighton, and he worked there. And what was happening was they were able to give him. He was able to take all of the drum DVDs.
Oh yeah.
Home.
Yeah.
And then he would copy them for me. And then put, so I had by that time I had Back to Basics, Dave Record. I had Peter Erskine's drum DVD, and then Greg Bessinet was a major highlight for me because he really taught me about charting music, and because I didn't have any drum lessons per se, he was the person that I really leaned into as far as how I can write a proper chart with note values and everything else.
Because a lot of people said that playing in church has shaped them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what is it that shaped you? Like,
It was, well, the beautiful thing about playing in my church, because I grew up in the Churches of God in Christ, so even when our church family from America would come over, which is now, you know, you hear about the Clark sisters, you know, Mighty Moss Clark was coming over, Twinkie, Karen, Dorinda, Auntie, I mean, they were always just coming over. So that was before, like, you know, Kiera was born, and you know, they were married and everything else. So it was like, so the mixture of what we were taught from the Americans, and then what we held on to, and we grew it, and it was amazing. And then what I was learning, whether it be a Latin style, a ska, reggae, blues, shuffle, funk. I mean, I just remember the guys when we were young. I remember the guys at the time, they were definitely into, you know, Earth, Wind and Fire. They were into that style. That was the, you know, Paradise. Yeah. You know, that was their Clarity. That was their band rivals at the time. So when they would go to church and play, it was funky. Do you know what I mean? So that's all we knew. Yeah. You know, and then by the time we came into play, we were trying to just emulate what Freddie and Nicky and the guys were doing, which was fantastic. And prior to that, when we were all younger, we had the likes of the great, you know, Douglas Wallace, you know, and the Harmonizers. Yeah. So like conventions were like, and you know, then from Harmonizers was Clarity, which was Simon Wallace's band, you know, with Paul Powell on bass. I mean, it was just, the musicianship was ridiculous.
So you're just getting like hit with so many different styles, and
it was mad. Yeah. So I had so much to learn from. So I needed to be diligent with what I was, you know, what was in my hands, and I just soaked it up, man.
So then, how did you now transcribe what you learned in church to playing in the industry?
Well, my ear was sharp because, you know, a typical Sunday for us is that you had a hymnal, you had a brand new chorus that someone would bring in from America, or if somebody came in, or you would have someone that would just sing a song. And, you know, if somebody's singing a song that you've never heard before, you know, you pick up that intro, the first verse and the chorus. By the time you hit the second verse, you know the shapes, you know what's going on. So that ear was fine-tuned. Also, I was going to say something else. On, like, if I'm playing the organ, or if someone raises a chorus, remember, no one's worked out the keys. Nobody's worked out the time signature. So when someone raises a chorus, you have to find that key. And on a Hammond organ, there's no transpose button. So
exposed.
Yeah, on a Sunday night, I'm getting to play in every key. So that's one like thing that you'd never. Second wise, you know, when and I think when we talk about the groove and your backbeat, you know, the drums aren't mic'd up. So if there's like a you know, you have a massive church, or even in convention, and nobody's not really looking to put a 58, you know, in your bass drum. So you have to carry and hold hundreds of people.
So you have to just proper.
Yeah. And if the chorus sweep the people them, and they're singing that chorus for 10-15 minutes, you holding everybody together. You know what I mean? And I remember what it was like in the early days, because I would speed up a lot, so I had to work on my timing. Do you know what I mean? And that was really good as well. So for me, it was really listening to a lot of the guys, and you know, the mentoring that I got was harsh. Do you know what I mean? Because if you weren't cutting it, there was always a next man.
kind of things did you do now to work on your timing? You said you used to play ahead of it.
Absolutely. I really had to work on. I suppose in the early days, I remember I had a drum machine that I had with me, and that would always be in my traps case, and literally, even if I was playing a live show, you know, I always remember someone who's been I've looked up to, which just around, you know, in London, which is the great Neil Conti, and a great close friend of mine, Tony Mason, was a great someone that I would hang out with. Bobby Clark when he was here, God bless him, rest his soul, and Frank Tonto. So anytime I would go and see these guys play, Frank would always have either, you know, like he would hold a metronome, you know, in his ears, or he would literally have a drum machine behind him, and he would always have his own headphones, and as he was playing the gig, he would just dictate, you know, all of the BPMs. He'd write them down.
So that's what, because you saying that, it brings me back to a load of the times where I've texted for you, where I've seen you just had the click, and I used to think that, why you just got it, but it makes sense. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that was just a habit. That was just one of my disciplines that I just needed to make sure that I can tap tempo where everybody is, and as the song evolves and everybody's energy and emotions work themselves up, I'm keeping everyone steady.
Back. Okay.
So even, you know, from the beginning to the beginning of the song to the end of the song, it needs to be steady, and that's what I want to be known for. So steady. I just made sure that I always built a metronome inside of me. That even when I didn't have it with me, there was always.
Okay. So did you practice a lot?
Yes. Yeah. I began to, you know, by the time I got my drum kit, Nicky's still at the premises now, but at the time the premises. That's when you could do this. The premises would, after 12 o'clock, you would be able to hire a room for £1 an hour.
Really?
Yeah, Jet.
See.
That was back in the day. So
big shout to
I would.
Right?
Yeah.
Man,
I know mans can't do that no more.
No, yeah.
So literally for a £5, you know, I would go in midnight.
Straight 5 hours and you're good.
Yeah. And I would go in there, and then eventually myself and Nicky, we had our lockups there. So they would just shut the doors. I put £5 down, and I would just go hard from 12 till 5 in the morning. Incognito at the time was killing it with, you know, Positivity album. So that was like the early 90s.
So you played in that album.
So so because we was on the stage management, we would always butt heads and do stuff together. So I ended up doing a couple of things with Bluey, which was really cool, and then he ended up doing some stuff with Raw Stylish, which was great. Then from there, I think when the pop thing started to go crazy, started to do some poppy things, and some records, and it's been great, man. You know, I mean, the last kind of thing that I did, which was amazing, was with Julian Joseph and the London Philharmonic Orchestra, and that was like 100-piece. You know, with
so you reading? Was you reading on that?
Yeah, that was with Carly Anderson. Cleveland Watkins, and there was a couple of other guys. I can't remember their names, but yeah, that was like we were reading. I was stepping for Mark Mondozia.
Oh, see.
Yeah. So
okay.
That was big shoes to fill.
Okay, he's dropped a load of bombs in this. Like, how many people he's just dropped in? Like, Mark Mondozia, Frank Tonto, Earth, Wind, Fire, and all the, you know what I mean? Like all the people that you're connected to, that you worked with, and stuff like that. That's big, man.
But then, like, you know, I had I had a great mentor, and Nick was someone that everybody was looking up to, but he just so happened to be in the house. But at the same time, you know, it wasn't easy. I think it was a bit harder because, you know, I felt like I had to really, you know, he would drop the bombs, you know, music, magazines, you know, a couple of stories here and there. Wouldn't say too much because he knew that I had to graft. Do you know what I mean? So even when it was like, you know, even borrowing his gear. Never got to borrow none of his gear. No wrestler.
I remember calling you, and every time I drive through Willesden and Housden, I get deja vu because I remember I was at this point where I was just like fed up. I can't remember where I first met you, but you know, I had your number and whatever have you, and I was like, Joe, listen, man, I want to do this music thing, man, and because I was transforming from cricket
Sports,
to music.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to do this music thing. Like, can you put me on anything? And you're like, yeah, look, man, cool. Like, I said, nah, Joe, I'm serious. And you're like, yeah, cool. But the joke is, when I called you, you was in South Africa.
Oh wow.
And normally, when like someone's phone rings and they're abroad, it's like the long ring.
Yeah.
And then you normally hear the long ring, you're like, they're abroad.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I was just like, Joe, listen, man. Like, bro, like seriously, man. And I said, I would tech for you.
Yeah.
You're like, alright, cool, Chris. I tell you what, when we get back, we're doing Girls Aloud, innit?
Wow.
So,
Come.
yeah, I'll shout you and get back. And boy, and then I guess the first gig I worked for you was Girls Aloud on Jonathan Ross show.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you talking about South Africa, I'm like, I remember the time you was out there.
Yeah, because we were just kind of tail ending Will, and we were double bubbling, and then I think the girls just got mad. It just the days got crazy. But then, and you was around some good people, man, because Leslie Ford is like one of the best techs, or at the time, you know, because like, so you was around good people.
Yeah. That was a good time, man. So tell me, endorsements. Do you have any endorsements?
Yeah, I've been playing Pearl drums for you could tell me. Right, so
as long as I know you've been playing Pearl,
so okay, when did I do A1? I did A1.
That was before my time, man.
Yeah. Matt, how old were you when you came A1? 4 years old. So it's about 21 years ago. So Simon J's, I signed to them, but I didn't get a drum kit.
Okay.
So he just gave me a kit for the tour. And then Tina Clark and Bob, because Nick has a deal with Zildjian. Okay. So they knew of me. Yeah. And like if Andrew Small went up there or you know somebody went up there, I'd always just hang. And then I was with Meinl.
Okay. Right.
And Meinl gave me a deal. And then when the pop thing started to kind of kick in, you know, Verway recommended me to Richard Taylor.
Okay.
For that particular A1 tour. And then I spoke to Tina and Bob, and they were like, well, they just gave me a set of cymbals. And then that's when I started with them. And then I was just playing Pearl drumsticks for a long while, which is like, you know, the Nova drumsticks. So I was just playing those for a good number of years. And then the guys from Arbiter, they were checking me at the time because they Nick Moulan wanted me to play Gretsch drums, but I stayed with Pearl. But he was like, well, come and play with Vic Firth. Come play Vic Firth. So I can't remember how many years afterwards, but I've been with Vic, those three guys for a while. I can't remember how it worked with Gary Mann and Remo, but I ended up working with Gary, and I think I was on like a silver deal. So I paid for my drum heads, you know. And then I think it was after doing the Zildjian, the Remo day or the Remo event, everything kind of changed. And then so I've kind of been with, like, if I've been working with those four guys, those four major companies, it would be over 20 years. It would be over 20 years.
You know a lot, you know. Your
God's
CV
good,
is
man.
long, man.
God's good, you know.
So, moving on to like the business. How do you conduct your business? Yeah, and this is more like to help people that don't understand about the business, or like the questions to ask when you get a gig and stuff like that. Yeah, so you don't need to disclose how much or whatever have you, but it's the conversations that you have. So I ask you, Joe, got a show or a tour or whatever have you, what's the questions you ask? What do you do from there?
I think character comes before and your discipline and how you stay when you're in the room. That's going to play a major role to the monetary side of things.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because they really want to know how you're going to behave, number one, and how what you bring to the table. So your self-worth, and not only, but your worth concerning what you bring to that table. So, you know, if you are really honing in on your craft and you are prepared, because I've been in certain situations where I wasn't prepared, and I weren't there again. And I learned, very, very quickly that I had to be on time, learn the music and conduct yourself a certain way,
how does it feel knowing that you've played on all these albums and played for all these people?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
But it's history.
It is history.
Yeah. And it's great history, and I am 100% grateful that I've been given God has blessed me and put me in position and environments and around great people. I just feel like those opportunities were definitely a blessing from God, and I just had to be responsible with what was in my hands. So, I wanted to be diligent with my practice time, with my passion and just understanding the music, and I definitely wanted to be in more than one position genre wise. So whether it be a rock thing, whether it be a Jessica Simpson album that I played on, or whether it be a rock and roll thing where I'm doing the Sunflower Jam and I'm playing next to Ian Pace from Deep Purple, or if I'm doing a jazz thing, or if I'm doing a classical thing, I just want to know that I can hit it, and like, in this country we're blessed to be, around some great people, i.e., the Kingdom Choir, got to do on their first album before they did the wedding and stuff, and then even playing with the likes of like Misha Paris and Omar and Colin Anderson, and I don't know, and the list goes.
And she did the IG.
Oh man, that was amazing.
That was my
wasn't
favorite.
It?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was great.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
She's bad, man. Like,
and then even the gospel artists that we have in this country today, incredible.
Because I know you've done loads of their albums, man.
Being blessed, man.
I mean,
being blessed.
Nah, it's bad,
Yeah.
Literally legendary.
God is good, man.
Like all these albums that you done, man.
Yeah.
So, who was your favorite artist that you've played for?
My favorite.
Yeah.
Maybe, and sometimes it's not even the actual gig. Sometimes it's the rehearsal.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, I think one of them. There's many, but one of them was, and I was playing the video to my children the other day. Mark King from Level 42.
Yeah.
We did something at the Royal Albert Hall together, and like I was religious when it came to Phil Gould. Do you know what I mean? And the Live at Wembley.
Yeah.
The Live at Wembley DVD, the video or DVD, what they did, and I was able to play Lessons in Love.
Okay.
With Mark King.
Yeah.
And like you see, I like where he would slap his bass and jump at those certain parts of the songs. He did exactly the same thing at rehearsals. Yeah, we rehearsed at John Henry's. And Rasta, oh my God, that was just incredible.
Yeah.
And it was even more incredible because Paul Wicks-Wickens was MD on that gig, and Paul's MD for Paul McCartney.
Okay, well.
So, and ended up doing quite a few of those with him. So, God's good, man.
Yeah. Give us a story like on the road then. Yeah. Like, what's the highlight of being on the road?
When the kids come to see me play. Yeah. My little man coming to see me play when he was young. My mum.
Yeah.
Was on the Will Young tour. I think my first arena tour with Will Young, and we all got to introduce my mum at Wembley.
Really?
Yeah. Things like that for me. Yeah. Matthew, taking Matthew to his first show. Matt was only like 4.
Really?
Yeah. Took Matt to see, I think his first drum clinic. I took him, and I took him to Steve Gadd clinic, and everybody was there, and I was just with my little nephew. Do you know what I mean? But he weren't really getting it at the time, because he was so young.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I want to go home, man."
Is it?
And I'm like, "I'll come to take you to listen to Steve Gadd." And Steve Gadd's playing 50 Ways. You know what I mean? And he's like, "Onks, man, I want to go home." But now, now he's good. Yeah. So that was cool. So it's just moments like that, and just meeting people, I think is the great thing, and then knowing, like when myself, Vera Bailey, Joseph Ross, when we did the first theatre production, which was Billy Joel's Moving Out at the Victoria Theatre, and my godfather came to see me, and he's the one that kind of grew me up as well. So just, just for the people that are, Nick coming to the shows, do you know what I mean? Freddie coming to the shows, people that the one thing that I regret is I was supposed to be on one of the X Factor tours.
Okay.
But it was just clash heaven at the time, and Pastor Reynolds, who's my pastor at the time, he was going to come to a show to support me, and that would have been amazing because he was really up for it, and he was cool because I'd always give him my dates and just let him know pastors as well. So and he was good with that, and he was actually going to come to Wembley to see me play. But he came to...
That's the old Wembley, isn't it?
The old Wembley. But he was great support. He came to... I think he came to when we did Worthiness Place, Noel's...
Okay.
Yeah, the album release at Kensington Temple. He came. So that was cool.
Again, thanks for tuning in to Behind the Beat. Thanks for Jerry Brown for coming down, blessing us in the house. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend and their granny. And have a good one. Enjoy. Catch you later.